Breaking news, former President Trump has now appealed Maine's ruling to keep him off of the Republican primary ballot. Secretary of State Shenna Bellows announcing that ruling last week, saying she's faced threats ever since. CBS 13's Owen Kingsley joining us now at the live desk and what the next steps in this appeal could look like, Owen.
Yeah, Greg, Maine Superior Court will have to make a decision soon on an appeal with a deadline later this month. Trump and his team face similar ballot bans in Maine and Colorado, where both states argue that he engaged in the January 6th insurrection. The bigger question here, though, is whether or not an appeal could make it to the U.S. Supreme Court, and whether a decision in Colorado could mean a decision in Maine.
Mr. Trump has that ability to appeal to Superior Court. Superior Court will hear the arguments and make a ruling, and I will abide by what the courts find.
That appeal came Tuesday. Maine Superior Court has a quick deadline of January 17th to make a decision. Secretary Bellows says if Superior Court sides with her ruling to bar Trump from Maine's primary ballot, there are more ways for Trump to appeal.
Then to the Maine Supreme Judicial Court, and then potentially to the U.S. Supreme Court, should one of the parties appeal at any step in the process.
I would expect that the Trump team is going to ask for an appeal on the basis of the fact that he has not been convicted or even indicted for insurrection. But the 14th Amendment doesn't actually say that. It just says anyone who swore an oath to defend the Constitution and then participated in an insurrection.
USM professor of political science Ron Schmidt says if Maine's ruling is not overturned, Trump could bypass Maine Supreme Court and take his appeal straight to the U.S. Supreme Court. In the coming days, Trump is expected to take his appeal in Colorado to the U.S. Supreme Court. The Colorado Secretary of State says he is essentially back on the ballot for now.
On the one hand, as I said, the court now says that they consider themselves responsible to act just on the basis of the exact language of the Constitution and its historical context. And that, to me, seems to work against the Trump campaign.
Until the Supreme Court refuses to review the case or take some type of action, he is back on the ballot in the state of Colorado.
If we get a ruling from Colorado, will that essentially be the ruling for Maine?
Not necessarily. That depends on how the court answers it. The court could answer very, very narrowly, just on the basis of what happened in Colorado, and then enjoin Colorado to do this or that. Or the court could answer it using more expansive language, in which case this would apply not just to Colorado or to Maine, but to all the states in which this is currently being argued out.
Maine's primary election is just 2 months away on March 5th, not including Trump. There are 5 other Republicans who have qualified for the ballot in Maine, and 2 Democrats, including President Biden. Reporting at the live desk, I'm Owen Kingsley.